Hey, my name is Lindsay Melton Jr., and this is the True North Collective, where we like to take today's culture and navigate through the culture in the direction that lands us at the heart of God. In this video, I get to interview my friend. It is a blessing and an opportunity that I get to call him my friend. I do not count it lightly. But we get to interview one of my best friends. His name is Mr. Kelly Cole. Now, Mr. Kelly Cole, if you didn't know, Mr. Kelly Cole is known as the publisher. He's a 2 times #1 best-selling author, speaker, and entrepreneur. He went from working at Wal-Mart and Blockbuster to owning one of the fastest-growing book publishing companies in the U.S. Kelly's been seen on Yahoo Finance, NBC, Fox, ABC, Netflix, and the CW. He has spoken for hundreds of organizations and colleges and universities, the NFL Players Association, and Eric Thomas and Associates, and more. Listen, Mr. Kelly Cole is golden. You're going to get fed off this. He has no small feat. He is a meat and potatoes kind of guy. He's going to give it to you straight. And I believe as we start this new year, if you are like me and you want this new year to be different than last year, you want to watch this video. Now, we recorded this video on my birthday. One of the things I like to do on my birthday is I like to reflect, I like to plan, I like to hear from God on how to lead going into the next year. Because for me, I mean, you think about it, your birthday, that's exactly when your new year starts. It's the day you was born. It's the day you came into the world. It's the day you came into the year. This is the day when my new year starts. So therefore, I want to get it right. As a husband, as a father, as a pastor, as a son, as a brother, as so many different things, I want to make sure that I'm receiving wise counsel. And that's one of the reasons I hit up my friend Kelly Cole, and I asked him, hey, let's record this conversation so not only I get fed, but so you get fed. So pay attention, and thanks so much for watching. So this is, like I said, this is somebody I've looked up to. He don't like to admit it, but I've looked up to him for, I can't imagine how long. I can't even go how long, but still, I'm very blessed to call him my best friend, Mr. Kelly Cole. Listen, like I told you, bro. Now I don't know when I'm gonna post this, but as we're shooting it, today's my birthday, and I'm thinking on my birthday I like to reflect. I like to receive wisdom, wise counsel. I like to pray, get in with God, but then also like the voices that I'm very intentional with the voices that I hear on my birthday, because like,
Yeah.
I mean, I had this idea, it could have been the Holy Spirit, but like
Mhm.
for me, this is the start of a new year. Like today is the start of a new year because I mean, it's the day I was born. So this is where my year starts, not January 1st, but today. So therefore I need, I need voices that are going to like, that have the power to like influence me and like stream me through, and obviously you're one of them. So i'm
Okay.
very I'm very thankful for that friendship, sir.
Appreciate that, brother. Likewise, man.
So like I
Like I
told
told
you,
you before we started, hey, be
oh
better
yeah.
than me. Be like me. Be better than
So like,
me.
obviously we could talk about a plethora of things, but for anybody like starting the year off right, just, and obviously you be led, man, whatever you got, just share it. But like starting the year off right, how do we, I guess like for 2024, how do we what habits do we need to be implementing to like be successful and not just it repeat another year? Because everybody talks about, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then
Yeah.
2 weeks into it, we're out.
Yeah, I think it's important, like you said, to know. Like most people don't know what they really want, if
Hmm.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
They think they know. They've seen some things on social media, but they don't really know what they want. And I'm gonna give you an
Ah.
example.
Okay.
Give you an example. When I started my business on the internet, I just said, okay, I want to be successful. My goal was to be able to pay the bills and become a millionaire, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Okay. So I recorded this video. I made a spoof of Soldier Boy's Pretty Boy Swag, right? You remember that one?
Okay. Uh-huh.
So I made a spoof and I mentioned this guy that I looked up to. His name was Matt Basak, multimillionaire dude. If you saw him, you would think he was a bum. I mean, he doesn't look like he has a dime, but multimillionaire guy. But I mentioned him in the record, right? In the
Uh-huh.
video.
Yeah.
He calls me. I mean, I promise you, I released the video. 5 minutes
Mm-hmm.
later, he calls me and says, "Yo, I love the video. Is there anything I can do for you?" I froze. I froze. I said, that's $1 million question." And he said, "It is if you ask the right thing." Looking back, what I should have asked him for was to do a product with me. That would have got me closer to my goal of being a millionaire and would have also put me in the circles of other people who were doing the same thing if we would have did a product together. Before I go anywhere,
Mm-hmm.
before I do anything, especially event, I write down so I'm intentional about what I want. Like, what do I want to get out of this?
Gotcha.
Who do I want to meet? Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
starting out, the reason why people fall off on New Year's resolutions and things like that, number one, they don't really know what they want. They don't really know why they want it.
Mm.
And it's easy to not have it connected to anything. Like, what is it connected to? What's your why?
Okay.
Does that make sense? So my
Yeah.
why is connected to my family, my wife, my kids, my great 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 grandchildren. If that makes sense.
No,
So
it
having
does.
it a strong why is going to be the thing that pushes you towards whatever your goal is. And like you said, I don't list a bunch of things. I have maybe 3 things that I'm focusing on this year,
Mm-hmm.
3 goals, but I read them in the morning. I have a morning routine and I have a nightly routine where I read them in the morning, I read them at night. And here's another thing, bro. I count my blessings. I
Mm.
count down and I list every single blessing. I don't care how small it is. I made it back safely from Super Bowl weekend in Vegas.
Yeah.
Lord, thank you for allowing me to meet this person. Lord, I was able to have an amazing dinner with the wife and the children. You get what I'm saying? So I count my
Yeah.
blessings. By the end of the year, I can read all of the things that God have done for me, and it
Mm.
encourages me going into the next year. So bringing it full circle to
Uh-huh.
answer your question, how can you set yourself up to be successful? Number one, be clear on what you want, and don't say that you
Mm.
want it just because you've seen other people want. Like, do some meditating, do some quiet time, do some reading, do some praying about what it is that you really want. Write it down, and you
Gotcha.
have to look at it every day, and then create the steps to getting to the thing that whatever it is that you want. And I would say
Mm.
um, don't be afraid to invest and take chances. Last story, then I'm gonna lead you back to it. Are we still good on the audio?
Oh yeah, yeah, you're good.
Okay, like check this out. So I got this revelation last week. It's a story about when Jesus got into Peter's boat. You remember that story when
Yep.
Jesus got into Peter's boat? He told Peter to thrust them out a little bit so he could teach the people, right? When
You're
he
right.
was
Yeah.
done, when he was done, he came back to the shore. He told Peter, he says, "Peter, launch out to the deep and cast down, let down your nets for a drought." Okay.
Okay.
Peter said, "I've been doing this all night and I haven't caught any fish." He said, "But at your word, I'm going to let down the nets." Here's the
Mm-hmm.
revelation I got: the multitude and the abundance of fish is in the deep. A lot of
Mm.
times, Christians play it safe. We want to stay by the shore, but
Yeah.
the abundance and the overflow is in the deep. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, by the shore, you're going to get a few fish that wash to the shore. But if you're asking big things of God, you know who your God is. He's a big God. That's in the deep. That's not in the safe zone. That's not in the
Mm.
shore where your feet can still touch the ground. No, it's in the deep where you can't even feel the ground. That's the blessing I'm going after in this year 2024. I'm going
Mm-hmm.
out there in the deep. I'm not the That's where the abundance is. That's where I can call my friends like Peter did. Hey, come
Mm-hmm.
get some of this, Lindsay. It's too much. On the
So
shore, it's
really,
just enough for you.
so really, we we block our own selves by playing it safe.
100%. Because listen, stand by the shore, you want to be sure.
Ooh, say that again.
Stand by the shore, you want to be sure. We want to be in a place where our feet is safely on the ground. And we think we're doing something because we're his and he feeds us and he sends us a few fish that he lets wash up to the shore. But you can't bless nobody with that.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
you
can't
can't.
bless nobody with that.
No. I remember years ago I read this book. Uh, I can't even think of the name of it, but it's by Mark Batterson. And he opens up the book talking about these group of missionaries back in the day. Whenever they would go out to mission or go, to a place, they would send their luggage ahead of them, but they would send it in coffins.
Hmm.
And it was crazy, but it was a reminder to them and to their families. Hey, one, like where we're going isn't, it's not safe. But then also, if we die, we die. Like if we die, we still win because if we live for Christ, we die for Christ. And
Right.
like, but also as a reminder to them, like, hey, my comforts, my desires, my
Yeah.
all the delicacies, all the the fluff, put that to
Yeah.
rest. I'm going out to the deep. I'm going to the unknown, like, and so that's what I think of. And that's
It's
crazy
scary out
that
there, bro.
it is. And it's crazy that, we, a lot of times I've been guilty of it. We blame God for like, man, how come I ain't doing this yet? And when really God's like, because you won't leave the shore.
Yep. You want to be too sure, and that ain't faith. That's
Yeah.
not faith. That's not faith. Here's some, brother, too, as I've been reading my word this year. Why every time that the angel came to somebody to bless them or give them the thing they've been praying for, why does everybody get scared when it's time to get blessed?
Mm.
Think about how many times an angel appeared and he had to tell them, fear not.
You
Your
know
prayers
what?
have been answered. God has heard you.
Yeah.
You know what that is? We don't feel like we even deserve it. We don't even know whose kids we are.
Ooh.
We don't even know who our father is. And that just brought me to when Jesus raised Lazarus from the dead, and everybody's favorite scripture as a kid, Jesus wept.
Yeah.
Jesus wasn't weeping because Lazarus was dead. He was weeping because they had been around him for so long and didn't know who he was. He
Mm.
was weeping because they were having a pity party. They were crying. They were mourning. And Jesus is like, you've been around me this long and you don't know I am the resurrection? When y'all heard I was coming, y'all should have been celebrating. It should have been a party that I'm coming. I am the resurrection.
Yeah.
That's why he wept. He was disappointed of how long they had been around him and still didn't know who he was.
Bruh.
Mary said, was it Mary or Martha said, Lord, if you've been here, the first one, who was the first one to come and meet Jesus? Was it Mary or Martha?
Uh, I think it was
One of the
Mary.
sisters.
It was. We'll
Okay, I
say
think it
one of
was
the
Mary.
sisters. Yeah.
I think it was Mary. But Mary said, Lord, if you've been here, my brother wouldn't have died. And he said,
Yeah.
okay, if you believe that, he finna be raised again today. And she said,
Yeah.
I know he'll be raised again in the last day. He was like, no, I am. Mary, you just said you believe. And wait. She said, I know if you ask God for anything, he'll give it to you. He said, okay, if you believe
Yeah.
that, God, your brother finna rise again. He said, I know he'll
Yeah.
rise again in the last day. That's what she
Yeah.
said. And he like,
Uh huh.
you missing it,
Yeah.
Mary. How you say you know God to give me whatever I ask for, and then now you're saying I'm in the last day and I'm right here. And then the other sister come. She got all of the people with her. They consoling her. They're sad. They got the funeral music playing. And that's when he wept because y'all been around me this long and y'all don't know who I am.
Mm.
We don't know who he is, bro.
No.
Do we believe what we read in his word?
Yeah. That's That's wild. Angel Walmart says that unfortunately in America, we're the only group that we will not let the Bible get in the way of what we believe.
Yeah, 100%. That'll preach right.
we
Nice.
we believe what we believe, and if the Bible lines up with it, then that's the wrong translation.
Yep.
And that's sad. Um,
Very
what
sad.
just very quickly, what would be some practical ways in your, you know, in your mind of us, like, okay, us going out to the deep? How do we overcome, like, whatever it is to go out, just straight go out there into the deep?
The reason I think the thing that brings about the fear is the fear of the unknown, number one. And I
Hmm.
think figuring out what your gift is. Okay.
Okay.
I think the problem that a lot of us have is we're not using our gifts. And he said, your gift is the thing that'll make room for you and bring you before great men, not your passion, not the
Yeah.
thing, not your talent. No, it's your gift. Peter was a fisherman. That's why he said, Lord, I've been wrestling with this thing all night. Like he was using his gift, but it was
Yeah.
unfruitful at that period without the instruction of the Father. Does it make sense? So I
No, it
think
does.
number one, tapping into your gift. Number two, plugging into the Father and just doing the thing that He's telling you to do. Like for me, going out in the deep is, and I'm finna tell you, I'm finna open up that I ain't even shared this with a lot of people. I experienced so much pain in 2023 that
Hmm.
I didn't want any pain in 2024. So I want to be safe. I want to be by the shore. I don't want to give
Yeah.
nobody the opportunity to hurt me. I don't want to have no opportunities of friction. I don't want to have no opportunity of things getting messed up or my feelings getting hurt or this. So I'm gonna want to stay safe. And he's like, no, that
Gotcha.
ain't what you've been asking me for. You said, what you asking me for? You got to go out there. You gotta launch out into the deep. And one of those things was having a project manager quit a month after me burying my mom and leaving me with this mess. Bro, I'm gonna tell you, I lost close to $150,000.
Woo.
You think I want to feel that pain again? You think I want to hire somebody else to put me in a position? But he said, no, there is no, listen to me, in entrepreneurship, there's no such thing as no soft life. There's no such thing as staying by the shore because
Yeah.
it's all unsure. You can't be sure in entrepreneurship. Things are
Yeah.
going to happen. You're going to have you. And wait a minute. Let's bring it all the way clear. Whether you're an entrepreneur or not, you work for somebody
Hmm.
else. Guess what?
What?
Life is going to happen.
Yeah.
And what was the example? Whether you're a missionary, entrepreneur, whether you are doing great deeds, guess what? Guess what the secret is about life?
Yeah.
You're not going to make it out alive.
Yeah.
So you could play it safe and stay by the shore all you want. You could
Uh huh.
not want anything to ruffle anybody's feathers. You could be the most kindest, good-hearted person in the world, and guess what? They still gonna say crucify him. Even if Pontius Pilate said, I find no fault in him, they're still going to say, give us Barabbas, give us the known killer, not the one who came to save, not the one who came to heal. Jesus didn't come to have no problems with anybody, but they said, kill him and give us the killer.
Yeah.
So you can't, there's no such thing as save. Jesus came to save us all. They said, kill him. So you think you're gonna get it out here alive? You think that you're gonna be safe? You think that you're not gonna have any problems? Everybody's gonna like you. Everybody's gonna love your product. Everybody's gonna love your beautiful family. Everybody's gonna love your brother. Everybody's gonna love your sons. Everybody's gonna no. So
Come on.
playing it safe, that's what you're doing. You're not doing. You're not really safe. You're not safe in the bleachers. So why not go for what you want? Why not get in the game? Why not go ahead and launch your nets for the drought so you can bless your friends, bless your family, so you can be a good steward over what he's called you to do? So many people are selfish. If you're thinking about yourself, you're going to stay by the shore. But if you think about those he's called you to reach, you're going to launch out into that deep. That fear ain't going to stop you. But you're selfish if you're going to stand by the shore because you want to be safe. You're not going to fulfill what he's called you to do. So many people's fate is attached to your obedience to the Father.
Mm.
So if you don't go,
Yeah.
you're not just letting you down, you letting Kellen down.
Ooh. Why you do that, sir?
You said you wanted to reflect. If you
Yep.
don't do what it's telling you to do, if you don't launch out into the deep, if you don't go into that deep water, if you don't become radical, you're not letting you down. You letting Kellen down. And guess who else you letting down? You letting his children down. You're letting their children down. In Vegas, right? I stayed with my cousin. My cousin gave me a history lesson. You know what she
Mm-hmm.
showed me? She showed me my great grandfather owned
Mm-hmm.
thousands of acres of land that's still in the family, span across two different counties, and showed me a video of land that our family owns that's still in our family, Jenkins Farms in Mississippi. One man from the 1800s, no education, but he knew enough to make the sacrifice and purchase the land and start a farm that's still in our family today. He wasn't thinking about him. He was thinking about me. He was thinking about my children. My great grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not letting you down if you don't do it. It's
Yeah.
not even about you. You letting down those who are coming after you.
Listen, we're gonna come back for a part two. This is why I wanted to talk to you on this day. This is why I want to talk to you. Uh just real briefly, and then we'll talk later afterwards about when I could get you back in, or when you could, whatever. But where can everybody reach you, and all that? Plug it in, everything. Plug it in.
For sure. Yeah. So you can find me on all social media, including LinkedIn. I am at
Mhm.
Mr. Kelly Cole. So MrKellYCole. I'm also on TikTok under the same thing. You'll find everything I do there. My website is www.mrkellycole.com as well. I can speak. I can help you publish your books. As you see the jerseys on the back, those are a lot of my clients. But I have a passion and a gift for helping people tell their stories and then turn their stories into a book and then that book into a business. But that's me in a nutshell, my brother.
Man, you listen, you one of the greatest I know to do it, but I'm ready to go. Like, just get the pad out and start writing, planning, dreaming. Uh,
That's it.
I appreciate it, bro. I really appreciate it. So, listen, all those that watch this, make sure you reach out to Kelly at all the handles that he mentioned. Otherwise, you're missing out. You are missing out. So, thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
Number love for you, bro.